Are women underrepresented in computer science? Simply put, yes. In this video, I want to cover why women are underrepresented and if computer science is the only STEM field that is underrepresented for women. Starting out, I want to talk about gender stereotypes and institutionalized sexism. So, what are gender stereotypes? According to the United Nations Human Rights Office of the High Commissioner, gender stereotypes are a generalized view or preconception about attributes or characteristics that are or ought to be possessed by women and men, or the roles that are or should be performed by men and women. These stereotypes can often be negative, especially when it comes to women in STEM. Many people often believe the negative stereotypes about girls' abilities and interests in STEM. Some examples of these would be that girls are bad at math, or girls can't code, girls aren't interested in science, and they're often really negative about women's abilities. While institutionalized sexism is policies, practices, and norms that perpetuate inequality by restricting opportunities. These are especially prominent in educational institutions and work institutes. So, I want to dive a little deeper into gender stereotypes. The biggest one that I want to look at is male defaults, and this has a few subcategories that I also want to talk about. Those are the expression of stereotyped characteristics, overlooked behaviors, and gender roles backlash. Alright, so what are male defaults? Male defaults are a form of gender bias in which characteristics and behaviors typically associated with men are rewarded and considered standard practice. This often means that in the workplace, women or qualities associated with women will be overlooked. Also, women possessing these male defaulted qualities will be seen as aggressive. Although sometimes women won't possess any male defaulted characters in her workplace, and to men, she'll seem less interested in work than her male counterparts. Moving on, I want to talk a little more about the expression of male defaulted qualities. Often, women are not socialized the same way that boys were, so they don't naturally express stereotypical masculine characteristics. Because they don't show the same characteristics, women can be made to feel like they don't belong as much as men do, and this can cause some women to lose interest or make them believe that they won't be as successful as they could be in a different field. Women may also experience or perceive backlash for acting outside of their expected gender roles when they display characteristics that align with masculine defaults. Another thing that makes women feel like they don't belong is that their ability and competence is often overlooked. People in higher positions automatically assume that because you're a woman, you won't be as able as a man with the exact same qualifications. And even when women do get jobs, especially in male-dominated fields, they'll face gender backlash. Gender backlash is harassment or aggression that is directed toward women who try to challenge unequal power structures. This makes staying in a male-dominated field hard because women don't feel welcomed and are faced with this harassment just for being in the field. Overall, gender stereotypes can be very harmful for women. It makes them feel less valued and less successful than men while completing the same tasks. So while many women have interest in computer science, these common gender stereotypes lead to them dropping out or switching majors. The UN says that discrimination against women includes those differences of treatment that exist because of stereotypical expectations, attitudes, and behavior towards women. These types of stereotypes can be very harmful for women. It makes them feel less valued and less successful than men while completing the same tasks. Oftentimes, when women take on more defaulted masculine qualities, they are perceived as being aggressive or overbearing. This leads to more women dropping out and/or switching majors. Another thing that can lead to women not feeling competent in computer science is institutionalized sexism. Institutionalized sexism occurs when sexism is woven into political, social, and economic institutions. So, how does it affect women? Computer science is a prime example of institutionalized sexism. The field is built on male principles that constantly discriminate against women. While many are unintended, one of the main ones is the glass ceiling placed on women. A glass ceiling is an invisible barrier that shows the limit for how high a woman can climb in her job. Men often don't get this type of glass ceiling just for being a man in the industry. So, getting into the field is already difficult for women, but climbing the corporate ladder is even more difficult. This leads to many women changing jobs so that they can get higher pay. Lastly, I want to talk about how other STEM majors are different from computer science. Many other STEM fields, like biology and chemistry, are very well represented for by women and men, while computer science has stayed pretty stagnant. About 39% of STEM degrees overall go to women. However, only 20% of computer science degrees go to women. So what's the difference? A lot of other STEM fields have less gendered stereotypes associated with them, and they also have more women role models, which allows younger girls to see themselves in that role as well.